you all. Hope my voice is audible.
Yes, ma'am, audible, ma'am.
Okay, let's start. All of you have a good evening. So this is day 7, the grand finale of our international virtual faculty development program, which has as its theme tech-enabled student development in a VUCA-BANI world. I am Pradeepa Nagarajan, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Shift to Agurchand Manmull Jain College, and I am excited to welcome you all. It's Sunday evening, and while most would choose rest, here we are, virtually connected with a shared purpose of continuous learning and academic growth. Your dedication throughout the week has been truly inspiring, and we thank you all for being a part of this enriching journey. As we begin our final session, I would like to use this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. M. Kaveri, our facilitator, and Dr. B. Karthikeyan, assistant professor, who are the two organizers, indeed the cornerstones of this FTP trip. To all our participants, thank you for joining us every day with such a positivity and enthusiasm. Let's now step into this final evening of learning, reflection, and celebration with gratitude of our hearts and purpose in our minds. So, to begin with, let's start with a prayer and celebration of culture. I request everyone to kindly join us, the Jain Maha Mantra, followed by Tamil Thai Bhajya.
ॐ नमो हरिहन्ताणं ॐ नमो सिद्धाणं ॐ नमो यरियाणं ॐ नमो वच्छायाणं नमो लोये सबसाहूणं ईशो पञ्चनमुक्तारो सत्त्वपावपरासरो मङ्गलाणं च सत्त्वेसिं पठमं हवै मङ्गलं पठमं हवै मङ्गलम् நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் வழங்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறமையான செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
Thank you. Now, to formally commence the final day's proceedings, I now invite Dr. W. Julie Sudhir, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Shift 2, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, please. now request.
Ma'am is not joined, pa. Please wait.
Okay, in the meantime, so we'll just tell about a few words about our department. So the organizers, I give a special thanks to our facilitator and that is Dr. M. Kaveri and Dr. B. Karthikeyan sir. So who has shown their tireless efforts and careful planning and unwavering dedication are the reasons this entire week unfolded so meaningfully. So, by identifying a wide variety of resource people and making sure every aspect worked smoothly, they have transformed this LTP into more than just an academic gathering. It is an experience that will inspire us all. So, so let's give a special thanks and so hope so. It's a Sunday. A Sunday we all are having special time with our family, but this since today is the last day of our 7 day FTP, so we have gathered here to use a, a few hours, 1 hour of a productive in a productive way. So may I know the status of Madam Julie Sudhir? Hello.
Yes, good evening, madam. It's audible. You can continue.
Okay, sir. Thank you. We are waiting for Julie Sudhir ma'am, so it will just take a moment. Let's wait for a second.
Ma'am Pradeepa, is there any issue?
Yes, sir. Sir, just now I received a call. So I think the Julie Sudhir ma'am has been engaged with their family function, it seems. So I request Dr. M. Kaveri, our facilitator, to read the welcome address. And I invite Dr. M. Kaveri.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry
Yes,
for
ma'am.
the inconvenience all.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of the Department of Corporate Secretaryship, I am happy and honored to welcome you all to the 7 day virtual faculty development program on tech-enabled student development in a VUCA-BANI world, preparing learners for uncertain future. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our respected dignitaries, our Secretary, Sri Udan Kumar Chodia, Associate Secretary, Sri Hemant P. Chodia, Dean Dr. M. Ramya, Deputy Dean Dr. R. Sureka, and Director Dr. N. Venkataramanan, whose presence encourages and support all our academic efforts. I am also delighted to extend a special and heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, Dr. S. Sasikumar, Head and Assistant Professor in the PG and Research Department of Management, Sacred College, Tirupattur. We are truly honored by your presence and look forward to your valuable insights. Welcome, sir. I would also like to welcome our fellow faculty participants from various institutions whose enthusiastic presence adds value to this academic venture. Once again, thank you all for being here and I wish you an enriching and meaningful experience throughout the session. Thank you.
Thank you, boss, for your warm and thoughtful words of welcome. And I also feel pressure to again invite our facilitator, Dr. M. Kaveri, to introduce our esteemed speaker for the day, Dr. S. Sasikumar, Head and Assistant Professor, Sacred Heart College, Autonomous, Tirupattur.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, before introducing the chief guest, I would like to sincerely thank Professor Pradeepa, Assistant Professor of our department, for consistently hosting the session throughout all 7 days. Her lively presence, smooth coordination, and ability to keep the session engaging till the very end were truly commendable. Her clear communication, confident delivery, and warm interactions added great value to the session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your support. So keep rocking, ma'am. So I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. B. Karthikeyan, Assistant Professor of our department, for efficiently handling the technical aspects of FDP, from sharing session links and FTP forms to feedback forms to the participants, managing technical glitches and ensuring the sessions were uploaded promptly on YouTube. His behind the scenes support is invaluable. His dedication and smooth coordination played a key role in the seamless execution of the entire event. Thank you, sir. So now it's
Thank
time
you,
to
ma'am.
introduce our chief guest. We are honored to welcome Dr. S. Sasikumar, my friend, head and assistant professor in the PG and Research Department of Management, Sacred Heart College, Tirupattur. With over 23 years of academic experience, he holds a PhD in management from Periyar University and has cleared the state eligibility test in management. His core areas of specialization include finance, marketing, and general management. He has served in various academic leadership roles and is actively involved in research, curriculum development, and faculty mentoring. Dr. Sasikumar has authored two textbooks on human resource management, edited multiple UGC listed and Scopus indexed journals, and published over 40 research papers in reputed journals. He has also organized several national and international conferences, workshops, and management meets. Its awards include multiple but Best Paper Awards and the Excellent Teacher Award from JCI India. He is a recognized PhD supervisor, currently guiding research scholars in management. Dr. Sasikumar's contribution to the academic and his commitment to student development make him an inspiring leader and a valuable resource person for today's session. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thanks for your wonderful introduction. And
Thank you, ma'am.
really, ma'am
Sir,
is my
very good
best friend
evening.
for since 2010 onwards.
Yes,
So
sir.
we were working together at Priyadarshini Engineering College, and sorry, not 2010, 2006. We were best friends, and
2006.
I hail from Tirupattur. Very nice, and I am really very grateful to ma'am for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present, to be the speaker of the day, that is day 7. And ma'am has selected a wonderful topic, the need of the hour, that is tech-enabled student development in VUCA-BANI world, preparing learners for uncertain future. It's really
Sir, the
wonderful.
topic is taken from you, sir. It's your
Yeah, it's
idea.
thank you very much. And we have conducted recently FTP on this topic, related to this topic. And ma'am was a guest speaker for one day, and she delivered very excellent. And I do think that I will cope up with ma'am's expertise and ma'am's expectation.
Sir,
Thanks for this wonderful opportunity. I thank the management
thank
of
you, sir.
AM Jain College, Meenambakam, Chennai, and other faculty members of the department for this wonderful opportunity, and the speakers for their patience listening. So today I'm going to deliver my lecture, that is my speech on assessment redefined, feedback, reflection, and continuous learning. This is my topic, and I don't know why ma'am has selected me towards assessment redefined, feedback, reflection, and continuous learning. I am part of examination committee. My college is autonomous, and I was part of the examination committee of my college, and we do many reformation, that is many reforms in our examination system. And I think, thinking in mind, ma'am has selected me towards assessment redefined. This is actually real need of the hour, and we have selected the wonderful topic, that is assessment redefined, feedback, reflection, and continuous learning. So now I would like to share my screen.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, the resource person is starting the session, ma'am. Ma'am,
Whether my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am,
Visible, sir.
yeah, thank you very much. So let me begin my session, that is assessment redefine, feedback, reflection, and continuous learning. In times of rapid change, it is the learners who inherit the future. The learned usually find themselves beautifully equipped to live in the world that no longer exists. Eric Ufa. See, in this saying, he has very clearly stated that we have to predict the future and we have to work towards enriching ourselves towards the expectation of the future in the world. So, the next concept is understanding the VUCA-BANI world. Past 6 7 days you might have discussing about VUCA-BANI, and you have given 6 7 topics by 6 7 experts, and I would like to enlighten just a few ideas about VUCA-BANI. In the 21st century, especially post-pandemic, education no longer exists in predictable, stable environment. Instead, we face a world marked by disruption, rapid technological shift, and emotional unpredictability. Two key frameworks help us understand these conditions, that is VUCA and BANI. These are not just buzzwords, they define the very world in which today's students and educators live and learn. VUCA, origin and meaning. The term VUCA was first introduced by the US Army War College to describe the volatile and dynamic post Cold War era. It's now widely used in business, leadership, and education to understand the complexities of modern world. V stands for volatile. That is, things change rapidly and unpredictably. That is, to explain with example in related to education, sudden shift to online learning since COVID-19. And the implication is educators must be agile and ready to pivot strategies quickly. And U stands for uncertain. That is, we cannot predict anything. The outcomes are unclear and decision making lacks reliable data. And changing job markets make it hard to predict with the skills students will need. And the implications about the uncertainty is focusing shift from role learning to flexibility learning, critical thinking, and problem solving. And C stands for complexity, that is complex, which means many interconnected factors make problems hard to understand. And the curriculum reforms is linked to politics, economy, society, and technology, which implies students need system thinking and interdisciplinary skill. And A stands for ambiguous, which means situation lacks clear meaning and interpretation. With example to this, multiple valid approach to one project or assignment, which implies educators must embrace diverse thinking and encourage creative responses. Bani, while VUCA focused on structural uncertainty, Bani addressed the emotional and human challenges of navigating such a world. It was introduced by Frutis James Kaesko as an evolution of VUCA model. Here, this Bani, B stands for brittle, which means system appears strong but collapse under pressure. And we should outdate curriculum failing during to shift to online learning, which implies we have to build resilient education system that can adapt and recover. And A stands for anxious. Their constant exposure to change creates stress, fear, and burnout, and which implies where there is need for emotional intelligence, mental health support, and compassionate pedagogy. And N stands for non-media, that is, Small causes can have disproportionate effect, patterns are unpredictable, and it prepares students for unexpected marks and outcomes. Encourage adaptability, and I stands for incomprehensible, which means events or systems are too complex to fully understand or explain, which implies that students should promote lifelong learning and curiosity over complete mastery. So I think I need not give more about this VUCA and BANI. All 6 days you were hearing about VUCA and BANI. Now I just get into my topic. Why assessment and what is the need for assessment and why we have to redefine assessment? So in past, assessment in education was largely equated with grades, marks, and final exams. These traditional methods were designed for a world that valued memorization and standardization. You know that students, we evaluate students based on their memory capacity and their standards. However, in today's VUCA-BANI world, where change is constant and uncertain is the norm, these approach fall short. And what is the real problem there? Traditional exams often assess only rote learning, not understanding or application. Students are trained to aim for marks, not meaningful learning. So they really focus on getting scoring marks, but not real life learning. So one size fit all assessment failed to address the diverse skills required for the students to meet the real world expectation. So here we can get into the concept why we have to redefine the assessment. We now need assessment that supports authentic learning, that is real world task, and how students can solve the problems and portfolio presentations. With authentic learning, we is followed by continuous feedback loops. Here we have to get continuous feedback. Here different people or different stakeholders are there to assess or to give feedbacks. That is, we have to go ongoing guidance that helps learners to improve during the process, not just at the end, but from the beginning till end, we have to assess and we have to give the feedback. And lifelong learning mindset, that is, we have to encourage students to learn, unlearn, and relearn across their lives beyond academic boundaries. In a nutshell, redefining assessment means moving from evaluation to empowerment, from judging what a student knows to support how they grow. It's about create learners who are adaptable, self-aware, and future-ready. Yeah, next, let me get into the concept that is components of redefined assessment. In the context of today's rapid changing technology driven world, assessment must evolve beyond exams and grading. Redefined assessment focus on support learning, not just measuring it. Here are the key components that makes this shift meaningful and effective. First, feedback. Ongoing specific and constructive feedback helps learners understand their strengths and areas for improvement. It supports growth and encouragement, a dialogue between teachers and students rather than a one-time judgment. Second, reflection. Students engage in self-analysis by reviewing their own learning experience. Reflective practices like journal, portfolios, or guided questions promote deeper understanding and personal responsibility for learning. Third component of redefined assessment is continuous learning. Learning is seen as an ongoing journey rather than a destination. Regular formative assessment and adaptive tools encourage learners to build knowledge incrementally and stay engaged throughout the learning process. The fourth component of redefined assessment is technology integration. Digital platforms enable real-time feedback, personalized learning path, and data-driven insights. Tools like learning management system, AI, and gamification enhance assessment by making it more interactive and responsive. And the fifth one is authenticity and personalization. Authentic assessment, where students demonstrate their learning through real world tasks such as by taking projects, case studies, by giving presentations, or by simulations. These methods measure practical understanding of the student, creativity of the student, and critical thinking of the student, where they can exhibit their skills, which are essential for VUCA-BANI world. Thus, redefined assessment is not about replacing exam, it is about expanding the way we evaluate learning. These components help create a more adaptive, student-centered, and future-focused educational environment. Introduction to assessment redefined. See, assessment redefining involves shifting our focus from mere evaluation, and traditionally assessment has been used to measure what students know, often through tests, exams, and grades. While this approach severed its purpose in the industrial age education system, it no longer fits the need of today's learner. In the VUCA-BANI world, where change is rapid, unpredictable, and complex, where students need more than just knowledge. They need adaptability, creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence. Assessment redefined is about shifting the focus from evaluating learning to enhance learning. It moves away from one time testing and embraces continuous, reflective, and feedback rich process that supports students' development over time. Rather than asking, what does the student know? We now ask, how is the student growing? This new approach prepares learners to thrive in an uncertain future by building not only academic proficiency but also personal and professional resilience. Next, we are going to look into the assessment tools, assessment redefined tools. There are three important assessment tools. One, formative assessment, summative assessment, and peer and self-assessment. Formative assessment. See, this is a tool for ongoing learning. Formative assessment is a type of assessment for learning, not just for learning. It happens during the learning process, allowing both teachers as well as students to monitor the progress, identify the gaps, and adjust the strategies in real time. Unlike traditional exams, which are often high stakes and summative, formative assessments are low stakes, continuous and focused on improvement rather than grading. Key features of formative assessment. The different features are on it is ongoing one, it is interactive one, it is flexible one, it is diagnostic one, and student centered one. It is ongoing. How we can say it is ongoing? We used to conduct regularly during lessons and projects. That is, we just assess students in between or beginning at the end. Next is interactive. We encourage the feedback and dialogue between students and teachers. And we can say it is flexible. How we can say flexible? That it can take many forms, like conducting quiz by exit tickets, peer reviews, and reflections. And the next one is diagnostic. It helps to identify learning gaps earlier, and to identify the gap and to rectify the gap by bridging the gap. Then it is student center. It encourages self-assessment and ownership of learning. Why it matters in VUCA-BANI world? In a rapidly changing world, formative assessment help to build adaptability, resilience, and confidence. Adaptability, that is, we can adapt through ongoing feedback, resilience through interactive improvement, and confidence by showing students their progress over time. And we conduct formative assessment with tools like digital quizzes, quick reflections, learning journals, and self-assessment rubrics, and interactive polls or feedback apps like Mentimeter. Formative assessment empowers students to become active participants in their learning, a crucial skill in uncertain and dynamic future. Would like to go deeper with the tools, examples, or visual templates for this ready for the next term too. Second, summative assessment. Summative assessment is an evaluation that takes place at the end of learning period, such as the end of the unit, or end of the semester, or end of the course. To measure what students have learned, it is typically graded and used to determine the learner's final achievement. These assessments are often high stakes, influencing promotions, certifications, or grades. While they provide a snapshot of learning, they do not offer much opportunity for improvement after the fact. The key features of summative assessment are final, standardized, evaluative, formal, content focused. We can say it is final because we conduct at the end of the semester or end of the course or end of the duration. It is also called as standardized because it often conducted to the learners as uniform for comparability. That is, we can easily compare between students of 60 or 50, and it is evaluative, used for assigning marks, grades, or rankings based on their scores, what they have obtained at the end of the semester. And for it is formal. Example, it includes final exams, term papers, and standardized tests. It is content focused because it measures the knowledge and skill attainment of the student. And it is not a real opportunity for VUCA-BANI. It is a real limitation of VUCA-BANI world because it does not reflect the process, creativity, or adaptability of student. It offers no feedback loop for improvement, and it may not suit for diverse learning style and needs. So, role in balanced assessment system, while formative assessment support learning, summative assessment certifies it. In a redefined framework, summative assessment is complemented with reflection, feedback, and continuous learning to ensure students are not just prepared for exam, but they are prepared for their life. Third one is peer and self-assessment, which empowers ownership of learning. As part of redefined assessment practice, peer and self-assessment shift the role of students from passive recipient to active participants in the assessment process. These methods not only support academic growth but also nurture critical thinking, self awareness, and collaborative skills, all essential in VUCA-BANI world. Peer assessment. Students evaluate each other working using guided criteria or rubrics. The benefits of it are which builds empathy and constructive communication. It encourages accountability and attention to quality. It exposes learners to multiple perspectives, and it evaluates peer review form critic sessions. So self-assessment, where the learners reflect on and assess their own performance and progress, which are the benefits are enhances metacognition, that is thinking about one's own thinking, promotes independence and intrinsic motivation, and it helps to identify strength and areas for improvement. Where self-rating checklist, reflective journal, goal setting sheets are used. And why it matters. In a future-ready learning environment, assessment is not just done to students but with them. Peer and self-assessment cultivate lifelong learners who can evaluate their own growth and contribute to the learning of others. So benefits of redefining assessment. Redefining assessment is not just a change in format; it is a shift in the philosophy and purpose. By moving beyond traditional testing, we unlock deeper learning and long-term growth, which enhance student engagement. How students can be engaged when assessment include feedback, reflection, and authentic tasks. Students become more involved, and their participation in learning process will be high. They begin to ask, "How can I improve?" Instead, "What's my score?" This boosts motivation, critical thinking, and problem-solving abilities, and it improves learning outcome. How it improves learning outcome. Ongoing assessment provide teacher with timely data to adapt instructions. Students receive real-time feedback, allowing them to learn from mistakes and build upon their strengths, ultimately leading to better academic performance and skill development. Third benefit is increased autonomy and ownership. Through reflection and assessment, learners develop self-regulation, goal setting, and independent learning skills, which increases the quality, which are crucial in a world of demand, continuous learning, adaptability, and emotional resilience. Final thought of this redefining assessment, which is used to support learning, not just measure it. We create classroom where students are not just exam takers, but curious, confident, and capable learners prepared for an uncertain future. And the next aspect is how assessment redefined is implemented. Shifting from traditional to redefined assessment requires thoughtful planning and a commitment to change, not just in tools but in mindset and pedagogy. Here's how educators can bring this transformation to life in practical terms. The first implementation is align assessment with learning objective. That is, we have to relate the assessment with objectives of learning. That is, assessment should directly reflect what students are expected to learn and move beyond recall based questions to evaluate application, analysis, and creativity. Use rubrics that map to course outcomes, ensuring clarity and fairness. Ensure assessment methods vary depending on the skill or competency being targeted. Here, this can be done through collaboration of learning outcome, which include peer evaluated group projects. The second way of implementation is use technology strategically. Here, we use digital tools, or we have to use digital tools which can enhance both assessment quality and assessment efficiency. Here, we can use formative tools like Google Forms, Kahoot, or LMS quizzes offer instant feedback. And second is AI powered platform which can personalize learning path based on student performance. Tools like Padlet, Flipgrid, and Jamboard foster creative, reflective assessment format. The tip which can the teachers can apply is start small. Start small. Integrate one tech tool that supports your assessment goal. And third implementation way is foster a growth mindset, which encourage students to see assessment not as a judgment but as opportunity for learning, which makes students to have the platform for their opportunity, which promotes reflection and assessment to help students monitor their own growth. Normalize mistakes as part of their learning process, especially in formative assessment, which provides feedback that is forward focused, guiding improvement and not just evaluating performance. Here we can use the phrase, you are not there yet, but let's get you there. And this implementation redefined assessment is not about replacing exam, it's about enhancing how we support learning. When assessment are well aligned, tech enabled, and mindset focused, they empower students to become resilient, reflective, and future ready. Assessment redefined, the course shift. In a VUCA-BANI world, traditional assessment model no longer meet the evolving needs of learners. Let's explore how key elements of assessment are shifting to support more meaningful and future-ready education. One, one-time exam, ongoing feedbacks. See, in traditional approach, students are evaluated only at the end, while little chance are there for improvement. But in redefined approach, assessment is continuous with regular feedback that helps students to reflect, revise, and grow throughout the learning process. This really transforms the assessment into a tool for real-time learning support, not just a final judgment. Teacher-driven versus learner-centered. In traditional approach, the teacher controls assessment, designing, delivering, and grading without student input. But in refined approach, students are active participants with the teachers. They engage in self-assessment, peer assessment, and reflection, taking ownership of their learning journey. Here, it really empowers students and build lifelong learning habits. The third one is mark-based versus skill reflection-based. In traditional approach, which emphasis is on mark, percentage, or right answers, but in the redefined assessment, which focuses to real-world competencies, communications, collaborations, creativity, along with the students' ability to reflect on their progress. Here, the assessment becomes a measure of growth, not just scores. The fourth one is rigid structure versus adaptive flexibility. See, in traditional approach, same assessment format and timeline for all, regardless of learning styles or needs. In redefined approach, technology allow for personalized, flexible assessment that adapts to learner pace, preference, and strength. This really ensures inclusion, equity, and deeper engagement. The assessment redefined is about shifting from control to collaboration, from compliance to curiosity, and from grading to growing, preparing learners to thrive in uncertainty, not just pass exams. Paradigm shift in education. We are moving from an education model that emphasizes teaching and testing to one that emphasizes learning through experience and reflection. This shift is essential in preparing students for real-life challenge in VUCA-BANI world, from instruction to test to result. This traditional model begins with teacher deliver content, that is through instruction, and end with high stakes of, that is test, and concludes with grade or results that define success. The real limitation with the traditional approach focus on what the student remember temporarily, not on what they can apply or grow from. And to experience, that is through redefine, to experience through reflection, feedback, and growth. This the learner-centered model starts with active learning experiences through project, problem solving, inquiry, followed by reflection, that is students thinking about what and how they learned, and enhanced by ongoing feedback, that is feedback through stakeholders like teachers, peers, or through various tools, which leads to personal and academic growth, not just a score. This cycle is continuous and support lifelong learning. Focus areas explained here are skills over scores. In old approach, it emphasizes on exam marks, grades, and ranking, but new focus, that is through redefine, prioritize developing practicals, transferable skills such as critical thinking, collaborations, communication, and digital fluency. Why this matters? In real life, employers and society value what you can do, not just what you can recall. Skills like problem solving, ethical reasoning, and leadership can't be measured in written exam, but they are essential for thriving in the 21st century. Instead of testing historical dates, students might be asked to research and present how historical events relate to current world issues. Second, agility over memorization. Through traditional approach, success meant how much a student could memorize and reproduce. But through redefining method, new focus, that is through new focus, value agility, the ability to adapt, thinking creatively, and solve new problems is a new situation. In fast changing world, knowledge becomes outdated quickly. Students must learn how to unlearn and relearn, adjust to new tools, and face unfamiliar challenges. A student who learned Excel formulas last year must now adapt to AI-driven dashboards. Their ability to learn quickly and flexible matters more than formula itself. Self-awareness over passive learning. Here, through passive learning, encourage self-awareness, where students understand how they learn, where they struggle, and how they grow. Where self-awareness learners are more or highly motivated, more resilient, and better equipped for independent learning. This leads to deep, deeper understanding and better lifelong outcomes. Through reflective journals or self-assessment rubrics, students recognize that they need to improve time management or teamwork skills and make conscious effort to improve. This shift is not just about using new tools, it is about adopting a new philosophy of learning. In the world of redefined, or the world defined by change, complexity, and emotional turbulence, we must redefine education to the caters of the change in world, which build capable, confident, and future-ready learners, which integrate assessment into the learning journey itself. And it encourages the student not just to score better, but to live and lead better. Feedback, it is real fuel for growth. In a redefined assessment model, feedback is not an afterthought. It is the engine that drives learning. Rather than being a one-time comment after a test, feedback becomes a continuous, meaningful dialogue between teacher and learner, guiding improvement and deepening understanding. Feedback is not a one-time remark. It is a continuous process that actively guides learners towards meaningful improvement. When delivered timely, specifically, and with clear direction, feedback helps students to bridge the gap between their current performance and their learning goals. With the support of peer review, assessment, self-assessment, and AI-powered analytics, feedback today can be more personalized, immediate, and relevant than ever before. This empowers students to understand their progress, make informed adjustments, and take ownership of their learning. Ultimately, effective feedback shifts the focus from simply grades and earning grades to genuinely growing into skills, mindsets, and confidence. Yeah, what feedback in learning really is. Feedback is timely, specific, and actionable information provided to learners about their performance or progress. Its purpose is to highlight the strength, identify the gap, suggest way to improve. It's not about judgment, but about growth. Why feedback is fuel for growth? It closes the learning loop. That is, feedback transforms assessment from a final score into an ongoing process. It connects learning objectives with learners' outcome, helping students to bridge the gap. Second, it motivates and builds confidence. Constructive feedback helps students to see their progress, understand their mistakes, and part of learning, and feel encouraged to try again. It fosters a growth mindset, and it promotes self-reflection and ownership. Good feedback invites students to ask, what did I do well? Where can I improve? What my next step is? This develops metacognition, thinking about one's own learning, which is essential in uncertain environment. And fourth is which enables differentiation and personalization. Through feedback, teachers can tailor support to individual student needs through technology, that is, through LMS tools or AI platforms, which help them to make their more efficient and targeted. The qualities of efficient feedback are timely, specific, actionable, balanced, and ongoing. So, in a VUCA-BANI world, students don't just need scores, they need insights. Feedback provides that insight. It is the fuel that drives learners from where they are to and where they can be. With the right feedback, students don't just learn, they grow. Feedback, the heartbeat of learning. Why feedback matters? Just as the heartbeat keeps the body alive, feedback keeps learning alive and responsive. It gives rhythm and direction to a learner's journey, ensuring that they are not just moving but growing with awareness, clarity, and purpose. In traditional models, feedback was rare, delayed, or limited to marks and comments. But in a redefined assessment landscape, feedback become more core mechanism for improvement and helping learners to understand what they did well and to recognize where they need to improve and to decide how to move forward from passive to receiving to active processing. Modern feedback is not a one-way message. It is a dialogue between teacher and a student. It invites reflection, encourage resilience, and nurtures the growth mindset. It transforms the classroom from a space of performance into space of progress. Types of free feedback is redefined in assessment are teacher feedback, peer feedback, self-feedback, digital feedback. Feedback is no longer just part of assessment. It is the heartbeat that keeps learning healthy, adaptive, and alive. In the VUCA-BANI world, where agility and self-direction are essential, feedback empowers learners to evolve, not just perform. Formative over summative. The shift towards continuous learning, the traditional model, summative assessment through final exam, term and test dominated. But in today's dynamic educational environment, formative assessment takes precedence. Why formative versus a summative? Formative assessments occurs during the learning process, but summative only capture performance at the fixed point in time, often without chance to grow from the feedback. The key benefit of formative assessment guides learning, while summative measures learning. In a VUCA-BANI world, guidance matters more than judgment. 360-degree feedback, a holistic approach, rather than relying solely on the teacher's opinion. Redefined assessment uses 360-degree feedback to create a richer, more balanced view of strengthened student progress. The main tip of feedback forward is actionable future advice, not just the prediction one. The reflection, the mirror of learning. Reflection allows learners to pass, analyze, and internalize their learning experience. It builds self-awareness and critical thinking, where reflection is more just a pass. It is a powerful learning strategy that allows students to look inward, analyze their thinking, and make sense of their learning journey. When learners reflect, they don't just remember what they learned, they understand how and why they learn it. Reflection, it is really from experience to understanding. Reflection allows learners to pass, analyze, and internalize their learning experience. It fosters self-awareness and critical thinking by encouraging students to evaluate what they learned, how they learned it, and how they can grow further. Tools like learning through journals, digital portfolios, and guided prompts help structure this process by making learners active participants in making reflection transforms passive learning into deep personal understanding. Why is reflection important? In the fast-changing VUCA-BANI world, facts and skills alone are not enough. Learners need to develop self-awareness, understand their strengths and gaps, learn to adapt, and grow continuously. Reflection helps to bridge the gap between experience and insight, turning action into meaning. How reflection enhances learning? It improves metacognition, encourages ownership, builds deep understanding, improves metacognition. Here, the learners think about how they think and learn, and students become active participants, not passive receivers, and builds deeper understanding through reflection, uncovers connection and patterns in learning. And it supports emotional regulation through helping learners process success, failures, and feedback. To conclude with quote, we do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience, said by John Dewey. Reflection tools and techniques used are learning journals, exit slips, think par share, portfolios, self-assessment rubrics. These are some of the tools and techniques. Then examples are what say prompts of for reflection are: what did I do well today? That is why I succeeded well today. What confused really me and how I responded to it. What would I do differently next time? How has things learning changed my thinking? So here the reflection is the mirror that helps the student to see themselves as a learner. It builds not just as an academic progress, but personal growth. And through this personal growth, he can enhance his critical thinking and resilience. In a redefined assessment model, reflection is not optional, it is really mere essential. The power of reflection. Reflection is not just an academic activity, it is a real transformational tool that turns information into insights and experience, which really takes students into growth. In redefined assessment, reflection gives learners the power to connect what they have done with who they are becoming. Why reflection matters here? It helps students process their learning, what worked, what did not, and why it doesn't work. It encourages intentional improvement rather than passive recipient. It nurtures self-regulation, helping learners to set goals, to monitor their progress, and adjust their strategies. And what reflection really builds? It builds the self-awareness through understanding personal strength, habits, and area for growth. And it increases critical thinking by evaluating choices, assumptions, and the real outcomes. And it enhances the growth mindset by seeking mistakes or by identifying the mistakes not as a failure but as opportunity to learn. And it acts as an agency taking ownership of one's learning journey. The practical ways of using reflection is through journal, portfolios, guided prompts, self-assessment. To conclude this, the power and reflection lies in its ability to make learning visible, meaningful, and lasting. In a VUCA-BANI world, students need more than knowledge. They need the clarity. They need confidence. They need courage that reflection cultivates. Types of reflection in learning. Reflection is a layered process. that evolves in depth and purpose. As students progress, their reflections move from simply describing experience to analyzing and critically evaluating them. Understanding the three types of reflection: one, descriptive reflection, that is what happened. This is the foundational level of reflection where students recall and describe an experience without it interpreting or evaluating it. The real purpose is to record events or actions during learning tasks, to build awareness of the progress or content involved. The next is analytical one. Why analytical? Why did it happen? Why did it happen? See, here we have to analyze, we have to think, or we have to see, or we have to check what really happened, and uh, what kind of steps we have to take, and why it can be processed and how it can be processed. And third one is the critical way, that is, what can I do better? See, when a student is able to go for self-awareness, critical thinking, he can think how we performed today, how we did well today, and how things can do better today. So this how he can go for better, that is how he can enhance his better performance. Next, continuous learning. See, continuous learning beyond exams. Continuous learning promotes an ongoing journey of skill and knowledge development. It encourages curiosity, adaptability, and resilience in an ever-changing world. Through adaptive assessment, micro-learning, and regular feedback, students stay engaged and motivated. This mindset prepares learners not just for exams, but for life enhancement. Continuous learning is it is lifelong adaptability. See, through micro assessment or through instant insight, we can enhance our adaptability. That is how one's life can enhance, or one's life can increase their performance. And there we have to use different learning, which leads to identify failures, and the failures can be accommodated, or failures can be identified, feedback through various stakeholder, members. So there are different tools that we use forward. Instead of once telling student what they did wrong, or why they go, or where they take, here is responsible the teacher to identify where the student is going wrong, and how the student can be constructed, and how students can be motivated, and how students can be oriented. It helps students to grow beyond their mistakes. So here you have to miss, for example, I'm writing a thesis. If I miss something important in introduction, the teacher can identify, or the various tools that which we adopt in refined method may identify how the introduction part can be enhanced, and how the future introduction can be rewritten well. So it is very, very important that we have to see how the to be to conclude, that helps to see and how can be disruptive, how they can be adapt analytical, and how they can be critical in making things more prospective in continuous learning. And what continuous learning is really? Continuous learning is the practice of consistently acquiring new knowledge, refining skills, and reflecting on experience over time. It moves away from the learner's once test, once model, to a dynamic, evolving process that continues during and after formation. We promote the knowledge development, focus on learning, emphasize building future ready skills. education, good literacy, and critical thinking, and knowledge ability to take the change information tools and trend growth. That's through by online tools. And the just which students yes, but they build speaking setback as to grow, not failures. So, as I said, is limited to adaptive assessment, micro assessment. Next, here it helps the students that is to prepare not just for exam but for the life. Traditional exams test memory. Continuous learning prepares students to apply knowledge in real life and real life situation, to adapt new roles, tools, and environments. Learn in adaptive independently long after they leave formal education. To conclude, continuous learning empowers learners to take control over their development, making them not for exam preparation or exam passer, but lifelong agile thinker who can thrive any challenge for their future being. Continuous learning beyond exams. What is continuous learning? It is the mindset and practice of ongoing skill development, reflection, and adaptation for beyond the boundaries of traditional exams or course completion. In a fast changing, unpredictable VUCA-BANI world, it is not enough for learners to master content once, but they have to or they are able to learn, unlearn, and relearn throughout the life. Why go beyond exams? See, here we should not go for traditional exams, emphasizing short-term memory or to create high-stake pressure. Often we take tests what was taught and we were awarded rewards, adaptable and creative and problem solving. But continuous learning looks like learning as daily habit, feedback, reflection, and it built into every task. Micro assessment, peer learning, and self evaluation become the very important norm of the day to day life. Technology enabled learning through apps, online courses, simulations, etc. So, continuous learning shifts the focus from how well did you perform in the test to how far you have come and how much more can you grow. It prepares students to stay curious, agile, and capable for beyond the exam hall. So here, the continuous learning in today's VUCA-BANI, the knowledge is not static. It evolves rapidly. Continuous learning is not just a practice. It is a mindset that fosters lifelong adaptability. It prepares learners not just to pass tests, but to thrive in changing environment. Let's break down this model for deeper understanding. Micro assessment, that is, micro assessment are short, focused check-ins like quiz poll, or reflection prompts. They provide immediate feedback. This turns learning into responsive process. And this develops resilience and self-regulation, which are essential and uncertain and non-linear situation. The core emphasis of continuous learning are curiosity, ownership of learning, and growth mindset, as we discussed earlier. So, to conclude overall, in the world of VUCA-BANI, that is, it is very clearly defined by volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, intensified further by emotional challenge and rapid technological shift. Traditional assessment methods are no longer sufficient. The future of education lies not in measuring what students can memorize, but in supporting how they grow. And it is a redefined assessment through continuous feedback, meaningful reflection, ongoing learning loops, and technology plays a vital role in this shift, enabling micro assessment, AI powered feedback, and adaptive learning tools that make education more inclusive, responsive, and effective. Through this redefinition, we prepare students not just to pass tests but to thrive in life with curiosity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and adaptability. Hence, assessment is no longer an endpoint, it is the starting point for growth. In VUCA-BANI world, redefining assessment is not just a pedagogical update, it is a promise to help ever learner become future ready, self-aware, and continuously evolving. Assessment is not the end of learning, it is the beginning of transformation. Let's redefine assessment not just to evaluate students, but to evaluate them. Thank you. It is the wonderful opportunity for me that I have to thank the organizers for giving this wonderful opportunity to present on assessment, redefine, feedback, reflection, and continuous learning. Hope my session I have given some inputs, and thanks for this wonderful opportunity. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for presenting it in a good way. So, you not only presented on the topic, but you have inculcated the knowledge based on the theme that is being given for you. So, on behalf of the entire organizing team and participants, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to Dr. S. Sasikumar, Head and Associate Professor from Tirupattur, for delivering such a thought provoking and impactful session. Your deep expertise, engaging presentation style, and practical insights truly make today's session enriching and meaningful. We are grateful for the time and effort you dedicated to sharing your knowledge with us. It has truly added a great value to this episode. So, thank you once again for being a part of this learning journey with us. We are now open the floor for a brief question and answer segment. So participants are kindly
Thank you, ma'am.
requested to share their questions in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself to ask any doubts or to ask any questions related to our topic. Is there any questions? Participants feel free to ask doubts or questions. Any questions? Fine, sir. In the meantime, sir, do marks still matter in the age of skills? So, does marks still matter in the age of skills or the knowledge? What do you prefer, sir?
Once again, ma'am, your voice is not that much audible. Please,
Audible?
little.
Deepa, your voice is not clear. Please ask again, ma.
Okay. Sir, I asked, do marks still matter in the age of skills?
What matters
Marks,
the age of marks? See,
skills.
actually, yeah, see here in our college, since our college is autonomous, we are highly focused with not with marks. We continuously assess through various mode of assessment. See, we make students to go for field visit. We actually, as we are part of a management department, we make students to visit industries to conduct real-time projects, not a 1 month project or a 45 days project or 2 month project. We make them to conduct a real-time study and to find out the real problems. Likewise, see, we give hands-on training, experiential learning is there. So skill is very, very important. So we give much priority for skill. For example, we make students to take part, or we encourage students to take different tests like Swayam or MOOC or NPTL, and they have to see it is a part of their curriculum. Or we are conducting skill courses where they can take different skills like they can study about tourism management, where they can take tourism management course. they have to visit a tourist place, and how tourism can be enhanced in that particular place. For example, nearby our place, Hills is there. It is a real place of it is called as what it is a Ooty of poor people. How the things can be enhanced, how the tourism sector can be concentrating more in improving the tourism sector of Yelagiri Hills. What kind of things can be done? They have to give a report, and based on that report, their skill will be evaluated, and the recommendations will be forward to the stakeholders, and that recommendations will be really intimated, and we will be submitting to the collectorate, and it will be taken for assessment and evaluation, and it will be submitted to the government, where such projects are implemented. And so we give much priority for skill enhancement rather than book learning, or rather than what they learn through chalk method. We more importance group discussion or presentation, or different quiz, or see, we will give a concept, we will give a video. By looking into the video, they have to prepare a report, or they have to attend a quiz, and it will be within the matter of half an hour. We won't give more time for preparation, or for see, here the evaluation method will be different, and it depends upon staff member to staff member. We can develop our own evaluation method, and there will be no same, that is, evaluation method will be unique from staff to staff, and it will not be same. And the evaluation method will be intimated to the controller of examination. This how this course will be evaluated. So marks is not given much for the end semester. It is for, see, our pattern is 50-50. 50 mark for end semester, and 50 for self evaluation and peer evaluation, and through other assessments.
Yes, sir. Very well said. So, in the current scenario, we not only need the knowledge is being needed, but more than that, we have to have the practical skills, and some sort of training is being needed. So, very well said. So, thank you once again, sir, for addressing the questions with such a clarity and thoughtfulness. Fine. So we kindly request all the participants to share your feedback or suggestions on this 7-day FTP. Our resource person is also being insisted with the feedback on today's topic. So here your input will help us to improve and plan even better programs in the future. So is there any feedback or suggestions from the participants? Fine. Thank you for your support and valuable time. So before we move ahead, I'd like to take a moment to appreciate our amazing department team, or our workplace family, whose coordination, commitment, and teamwork made this FDP possible. So, dear participants, what you have seen this week is the result of collective efforts, support, and a whole lot of behind the scenes dedication. So, what I am going to do, I now request the faculty members indicated by calling names to switch on their cameras, wave a hi or hello, and give our amazing audience a thumbs up. So here we go. So I'll just read out the names. Please switch on your camera, say hi or hello to the audience. Give our amazing audience a thumbs up like this. So I'll start with our facilitator, Dr. M.
Thank you, participants. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for stay on till 7 days. The 7 days, without your support, this cannot be possible. Thank you all. Kindly support us for the next event also.
That's our coordinator, dynamic leader. So I request Dr. W. Julie Sudhir, ma'am, to turn on your camera and say hi to audience, and you can show thumbs up. next, I request Mr. M. Danagopal sir.
Hi, hello, thank you.
That's our department sir. Then Dr. R. Bhavani ma'am. Dr. R. Bhavani is missing. Next, Dr. A. Vimal Devika. Fine. So here it's my name. Next, N. Pradeepa. So I, Namsa. Then uh, M. Geeta. M. Geeta is here. Okay. Dr. Nirmala Raghavan ma'am. Ma'am, hi.
Hi all. Thank you so much.
Yes. Ma'am. Next, Mr. E. Kannan, Tamil poet of our department. Then I request Miss P. Meena. Meena, are you there? Meena ma'am. Okay, next, our juniors. Dr. B. Karthikeyan sir, our organizer, assistant professor, junior of our department, but he is the silent person, silent leader, silent active member in our department. So,
Thank you, dear all the participants.
so that's
I
good.
request all the participants to switch on their camera just for a
Yes.
photo session, please.
Yes. So before we wrap up, let's take a quick moment to freeze this memory forever. Yes. So it's time for our virtual group photo. So I request all the participants to switch on your cameras. No formal poses needed. Just bring your happy faces and weekend vibes. Dear participants, please turn on your video for a moment. So together, let's turn this screenshot into another reminder of our educational adventure. That's great.
Yes, Pradibha ma'am, proceed with vote of thanks, please.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. To formally express our gratitude on behalf of the organizing team, I now invite Dr. B. Karthikeyan, the organizer, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, to deliver vote of thanks. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to everyone present here. It is my immense pleasure and honor to deliver the vote of thanks on this concluding day 7 of our 7-day virtual FDP on tech-enabled student development in a VUCA-BANI world, preparing learners for an uncertain future. This week has been a remarkable academic journey marked by insightful discussions, innovative ideas, and transformative reflections, and to surely contribute to shaping the future of education in unpredictable and complex environments. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our Honorable Secretary, Sri Udan Kumar Chotia, and Associate Secretary, Sri Hemant P. Chotia, for their invaluable support, visionary leadership, and constant encouragement. Our sincere thanks also go to our dynamic Dean, Dr. M. Ramya, our Deputy Director, Dr. R. Surekha, and our Director, Dr. N. Venkataramanan, whose guidance and motivation have been instrumental throughout the successful execution of this program. A special note to appreciation is due to our distinguished resource person for the day. It's none other than Dr. S. Sasikumar sir, Head and Assistant Professor, PG and Department of Management, Secretariat College, Tirupattur, for delivering an engaging and enlightening session on assessment redefined, feedback, reflection, and continuous learning, which has given us a renewed perspective on continuous academic growth and learner-centered assessment models. Thank you, sir. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to Professor N. Pradeepa for her outstanding contribution as the MC of this FDP. Her poise, clarity, and coordination played a key role in maintaining the energy and professionalism of the sessions throughout the program. My heartfelt thanks are all due to our senior faculty members who, with their wealth, experience, and constant encouragement, have guided and supported me in executing this responsibility, contributing immensely to the success of this academic event. I am especially grateful to Dr. M. Kaveri, our FTP convener, for for placing a trust in me and providing me this valuable opportunity, which has been a truly enriching learning experience. As we bring this enriching academic week to a close, I extend my warmest gratitude to all the participants, faculty members, and research scholars who have joined us from various institutions and countries. Your active participation, insightful interactions, and unwavering enthusiasm have been the driving force behind the success of this FTP. Thank you all once again and being a vital part of this inspiring journey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your heartfelt words. As we come to the close of our week-long journey, we request all the participants to please take a moment to fill out the final feedback form. The link will be posted or shared in our WhatsApp group shortly, in a short while. So forget not to fill out. So as we wrap up this 7-day international FTP, let us carry forward the learnings, reflections, and inspiration we have gathered from each section. So, thanks to your dedication, hard work, and excitement, this FDP has become more than simply a program. It's a shared experience of development, teamwork, and academic friendship. So, as the agreed great leader said, continuous learning is the minimum requirement for success in any field. So, though this FTP draws to a close, our learning journey continues. We warmly invite you to stay connected with us as we look forward to bringing you more many enriching programs, workshops, and even events in the near future. So thank you all once again for being such an engaging and vibrant part of this experience. We wish you all a very best in your journey as an educator and change makers. Stay inspired and stay innovative and have a peaceful Sunday evening. Thank you all. Thank you. See you. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Pratibha ma'am. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
So, thank you all. And we are planning to have a workshop, the 10 days workshop on research methodology, and we need your continuous support. Thank you, participants. You may all leave now. Thank you.